The CDF General Muhoozi Kainerugaba is planning to abduct the able Secretary General of the NUP, David Louis Rubongoya. In a tweet he put out and later deleted, he came out to say that, I quote, "At times like these, when I'm unhappy, I normally kidnap an NUP official and take him to the basement." That's the tweet which was done by Muhoozi, which I think is juvenile. One of the biggest mistakes was to bring General Muhoozi in the body politic of our country, thinking that he could come with the intellectual depth, but whenever he continues to tweet and speak through his X handle, you clearly see someone who doesn't have knowledge about the country. Okay? For him to say that whenever he's unhappy, he abducts an NUP official, it shows how partisan our army is, and it is a recipe for disaster. As very many people are keeping quiet, this gentleman is playing a Russian roulette with our country. And if you don't rise up to correct this, we are going to be doomed. So in this episode, I've come to talk about how Muhoozi Kainerugaba is planning to abduct the NUP Secretary General, what it means for our politics, and most importantly, the study materials we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawagali. There's a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. One, after putting out that tweet, even the Secretary General of NUP, David Louis Rubongoya, came out crying on his X handle. He came out to reveal that people were trying to abduct him. And in politics, nothing is done by mistake. If a CDF comes out to give out a tweet, and after a few hours, the Secretary General of NUP starts to cry, he came out to say, "Alert, yesterday as I left the NUP office, Kavule, some soldier took pictures of my vehicle and we are seen frantically making calls. Today, every armed men moving in a drone followed my vehicle around Kisasi. They moved out the drone and surrounded it. They came hastily and opened the door. Thankfully, I was not in the vehicle at the time. They searched it and found nothing. Disappointed that I wasn't in, they asked the driver, Comrade R. Nobatariho, for my whereabouts, and he said he didn't know. They drove off. We are not criminals. If you suspect any of us of committing an offense, summon us at the police instead of waylaying us and behaving like criminals." That's a tweet which was put out by the Secretary General. So some things may look as if like a joke, but when a CDF, the Commander Defense Forces, who recently even got an executive order from his father to be the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, comes out to say that he can abduct any NUP official whenever he feels unhappy, it sounds an alarm on the democracy of our country and how the leadership is rotting. As time goes by, as you know, Museveni is getting so old, there are some things he can't do. And the old age of General Kaguta Museveni is wasting the country. He's not come out to put his son in order. The son is doing each and everything he wants. Okay, let me assume even if General Muhoozi was joking. Okay, he may be joking on his part, but his juniors would want to put it in action so that they can be seen as if they are working. A CDF tweeting a partisan tweet, okay, it is a sign that we are failing as a nation. And what pains me more, very many people are keeping quiet. The people who have voices are keeping quiet. The Chabazinga of Busoga, the Emorimori of Teso, the Root of Acholi, the Langi cultural leaders, the Bunyoro, you are keeping quiet. Sometimes it's only Buganda Kingdom that is coming out to speak about these issues. But remember, when disaster knocks on our door, no one will be safe. Some of us who are speaking in Uganda, we have as the only home. Some of you people have passports, have 2 citizenship, 2 nationalities. You can go in other countries. And whenever I do videos, I keep on telling people that I foresee disaster ahead, not because I'm a prophet, but every country that has been at this juncture, it has gone in turmoil. And most especially, turmoil comes from within the government. Because Muhoozi Kainerugaba thinks is untouchable, thinks that is going to be, their family is going to be in power forever. It disrespects members of parliament. Yet members of parliament, majority who are NRM, come out to sanitize everything. He abuses ministers. Today he abused Omona. okay, one of the great supporter of his father, and you see them praising the family. We are under family rule. After the 40 years, Uganda would have lost democracy, would have lost development. I keep on telling people that we rather have a benevolent dictator who will curtail our freedom of speech somehow, but put our country ourselves to be like Ali Kuan Yew, okay, like Deng Xiaoping of China, who got China from poverty and up to where it is, rather than having a petty dictator who organizes an election and beats up contenders with a son who's a CDF who becomes happy whenever he abducts an opposition party member. Everyone who is keeping quiet is accomplice to the crime which are being done to our country, and it's going to make us one of the ungovernable country. I'm not praying for it, but that's where we're going. Of course, that's my opinion. Do make us by commenting about this. Thank you very much for listening in. If this is your first time on the YouTube channel, I implore you to subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.
Yes, Kabuye Sulaiman Mawagali. I am putting in my request to fly the NUP flag high in Makinde East constituency, so that I can represent the great people of Makinde East. Nkomyewo omulundi ogwokubiri n'obwongo nga bwesera nga busera. Ebiwandiiko byange mbirese bibino.
Sigadde nze Mr. Makindi Kabuye Sulaiman Mawagali kantu ene guno omukisa okubategeeza mbu ngenda kwesimba okuwa MP Makindi East 2026 nesimbawo lubi era nkomawo bataata bamaama basenga bajjajja okubasaba akalulu. Makindi East ediridde nnyo emabega okumala emyaka 2 okuva omugenzi Sebana we yagenda. Yensonga lwaki buli mukulembeze ajja tumuwayo ekisanja kimu kubanga tukola ensobi. Abakulembeze ba Makindi East okumala emyaka 15 buli baranking abakulembeze abakozi b'omu parliament abatakyasinze kwogera babeeramu abiri abasemba. Ebyo bintu birina okwogerwa. Twetaaga omukulembeze ng'alina obwongo nga bwesera nga busera. Twetaaga omukulembeze nga fighter, si bano bajooka. Bw'oba ng'ogenda kusaabalira ku mazzi ne baleeta eryato ly'ebbumba ne baleeta ne speed boat, tosobola kukwata lyato lya bbumba ogenda osaabale kubanga lijja kunywa amazzi obbire bassebo ne bannyabo. Oba olina kulondawo speed boat efubutuka kaweewo ekusomese mangu. Nze Kabuye Sulaiman Mawagali, nze speed boat. Bannaye munonde muninnye nsooke mbasaabaze ku speed ey'ekizungirizi. Eddoboozi lyaffe libadde teriwulirwa. Kyekiseera mu 2026 mulonde nze kamwa kwogera Kabuye Sulaiman Mawagali ayina eddoboozi eryamwanguka ajoyimirira ku parliament alyanje ensonga mu beesimbyewo bonna bassebo ne bannyabo teri ansinga kwanja nsonga. Abaneesimbyeko bonna baneegomba olw'engeri gye njogeramu, olw'engeri gye nnambika ensonga. Gw'oba okiwakana eno YouTube yange sooka ogiraba ogifollowing ogisharing olayo ne vidiyo eziriko engeri gye nnambika ensonga. Kuba mwaka faananyi nga ndi ku folo ya parliament nga ngamba Mr. Speaker sa wa Madam Speaker sa waliwo asobola ogaana okuwulira. So mu 2026 tetukola era ne mulonda omulala atali Kabuye Sulaiman Mawagali. Musibe bulungi, mweraba. Peace.
Mpala na wala kusaba kimuze mpala na bulungi ava mpala na bulungi nange benjagala obulungi.